Hello everyone, my name is Karthik and welcome back to my YouTube channel. And this session actually we'll learn how we can create our Docker container and then how we can run our application inside the Docker container. So it is a very easy and without writing any Docker file stuff. So that I'll show you. So let's get start for first demo. So I already actually create a one Docker image. Okay, so you will see that Docker image already created, and this Docker image actually there is a few command I'll explain you in a when you implement so from scratch. So this is a create a Docker image in the command prompt, and then finally I run this image in our Docker container. So once it's running our application, so see our application is running on this port and 3000 port, and also it's giving some information of log information, and it is listening to actually here listening to our that 3000 local host. Okay, so let's see in actions like how our container build is working. So if you see, I have also Docker desktop, Docker desktop install in my machine. So already I create an image. So you will see that image over here, and as well as you will see the container. So this container there. Okay, and this actually listening port of 3000. Okay, we set up, and let me check like okay after installing and after setup actually everything our is working or not, our application is working or not. So I already created some endpoint. Okay, and see this is our get endpoint a blog. So just send, there is a no data as of now because first time I'm running, so that's why it's not their data. But when I try to post some data, so I'm trying to post my data. Okay, this is not the right one, so I need to post data. Okay, so yeah, I want to post my blog data like title, description, name on this. So just hit, and if you see the execution, so see that execution part also you will to see whatever I did. So that also maintaining our Docker logger, Docker container logger mechanism. So it is there, and then check like the data is there or not. Not this one. Okay, let me zoom it and get this one API block. Yes, that API block is just let send. Yes, see whatever I did send, I get back to by Postman. Also, if I want to see in a browser, so that also I can check. See, this is our data endpoint which is hosted in our Docker container, and I get the result. Okay, so that is enough for demo. So let's get started, and let's close all the demo application so that we can do from scratch. Okay, so close everything, close this, and already actually I created some. Okay, before that, first just open your Visual Studio. Okay, and I open my old application actually which I created in clean architecture. So that application actually I created with the using clean architecture along with the .NET 7 core API. Okay, so this is what. And if you don't know about that, how can create a clean architecture and how can create a .NET core API and using on there, so I'm especially recommend to you, you have to go in my my channel, and definitely you will see all the stuff, all the series over here of clean architecture, as well as how can create a um, .NET Core APIs with the minimal approach, and as well as like controller based approach. So everything as over here, I'll also share that link over you. And before I start, first you record actually a Docker desktop, okay, which I already installed over here. See, so it is a straightforward, just go to docker.com and just install based on the environment operating system. We have Linux, we have chips, and we have Apple. So we have only window, I have window, so I install for window. So that is fine. And then also I shared a repository of our clean architecture whatever. So I taken the example, so I'll share also in our GitHub link to you. So let's get started. Okay, so before we start, okay, so first we'll create another Docker file. So which is build actually our, which create our image. So how we can do that without writing a code? That is important. That is a very good feature given us the 2022 Visual Studio. So just right click on that on our project file or your user interface. So right click on that, add, and you will see one option is Docker support. So let me zoom in, okay, so that you can see. Okay, so this is that options newly added in Visual Studio 2022. So that is we have to use to create a Docker file. So right click on that, add Docker support, and also it will giving the, okay, which framework you want to use. So I want to use for Linux or I want to use for Windows. So in this demo session I will use the Linux. Okay, you can use whatever you want. Okay, now see, automatically it is creating the Docker file. With this, all the references, whatever reference actually I have in this project, see, there's a many reference actually. So in this here, there's a project reference, two project reference, like in infrastructure and as well as application, and application also has a domain and other stuff. So those are actually created, those are actually they are trying to copy and reference and automatically. We don't have to bother about that. Okay, how many file or need to put that line or everything. So this code, you don't worry about it, it is automatically generated as per our project architecture. Okay, whatever I did reference and all stuff. So uh, before I start this file, okay, I'll just little bit explaining actually what is Docker. Okay, and then why is Docker, because we are trying to implement something. So little bit we have to idea actually what is Docker. So Docker is an open source platform that enable to you automated the deployment, scaling, and management of the application using containerizations. It allow to you package an application and its dependencies into a standardized unit called a container. A container provide an isolated and consistent environment, ensure that the application runs smoothly across different computing environments such as a development machines, testing environment, and production services. Okay, and now second question was, okay, second things we have to understand, okay, then why need to Docker? Okay, so what is the reason for why we will use the Docker, and what is the purpose, why it's needed? Okay, so there is a several reason or you know reason actually to use our Docker. So first reason is like portability. So Docker container encapsulate the application and the dependencies, making them portable across different system and platform. Now second reason is consistency. So consistency contains ensure the consistency between different environment while packaging the application and its dependencies together. Okay, so now third one is isolations. So container provide a high level of isolation, allow application to run independently without interfering with others processing or applications. Okay, now moving to next reason, that is the scalability. So Docker enable easy scaling of the application. You can quickly create multiple instances of a container to handle increased traffic or workload demands. Okay, so now moving to next, now efficiency. So container are lightweight and share the host system kernel, which means they use fewer resource and compared to running multiple virtual machines. And now moving to last one, the reason which is a fast deployment. So Docker simplify the deployment process by the provide consistent and repeatable deployment model. Once you have created a containerization application, you can easily deploy it to any environment, and that has Docker install. The streamline deployment process save time and reduce the changes of the errors during the deployment phases. Okay, so let's start to running our you know images first. So first I need to create an image for this for the Docker. So how we can do that? There is a one command. So before starting that command, what need to do? So see, this file already created. Okay, and this file actually there's a three or four sections. So first section actually is create a base class, base image. Okay, of with this sp.net, and then it's actually copy, and also copy the all the project reference as a and store as a this work directory. Okay, and then finally it's restoring our application. Okay, and then copy in this the whole copy the our root directory and store actually store in this src and clean architecture as a folder, and then it's create a work directory, and then again .NET create a build. Okay, fire the build command so that it's build first actually restore, then try to create a build, and then finally actually it is publish. Okay, build as a publish. Okay, and then it will publish actually this folder, app publish folder. Okay, finally once it's published in this folder, then whatever base command that finally they will create another app directory and copy from this the finally whatever publish and store in this app folder. Okay, and this is our entry point. Okay, so this is fine to understand. Okay, how is this working, because that is very important. And one last thing we have to do, actually see this file actually created for your root directory of the project, and then project file name. Okay, so similar like this root directory of that project and project name. Okay, so if your file over here, so definitely you have to just change few things, like okay, so you have to just pass because see in this folder itself this file. Okay, so that means you don't worry about to give that folder name. Okay, and this is also not right a way to put your Docker file here. So what I can do, I will move it from here to root directory, our solution root directory. So just cut from here and open your root directory, solution root directory, and just paste over here. Okay, replace it. So definitely it was previously, I guess, so by mistake it was there, so that's why I just replaced. But yeah, definitely when you will start, so definitely you will get a you will not find any Docker file. So just paste over here in the root directory. See, this is all our project folder, and they are under this project folder. You will get that project file as well. Okay, so those done, and once it's completed, okay, what you can do, just okay, so open any terminal. So in this root folder, so I open from directly over here, and you can open directly from here as well, like directly change the path and put a cmd and directly open, but make sure path should be a same, but we but should be a same for this path, whatever our root folder path. Okay, so let me check first Docker is there or not, Docker install or not. So make sure Docker is installed. So Docker v, yes, Docker install, then clear the console, and now create that image. Okay, so what is the, let me zoom in. Okay, so what is the command is docker. Okay, docker, then specify docker build, then t tag name, and tag name would be clean, yeah, architecture demo image. Okay, and dot, this is important, dot, so don't forget the dot, and then hit enter. Yeah, so now see, this is creating images. Finally all the step is done, and then it is run for restoring all the all the project file in restoring, so that all the packages will be download inside our container. So it will take few seconds actually, based on your speed or stuff, because it's connecting to internet, so definitely might be we using heavy packages, so it will take some time. Okay, so almost done. Run publish also done. Now yeah, the image has created, so let's check that image name. Okay, let me zoom and see, this is the image is created. Okay, and now the run that another command actually, that is okay. So that another command actually create a container and listing the port. Actually our application, uh, it will actually create it is a command of run. Docker will run, and what will do in the run command, it will actually running our container and our application inside that application. Okay, so what we can do is we specify the name of the container name. So I'll specify my first demo container. Okay, and then specify the image name. What is the image name? Our image name is this clean architecture demo. So clean arch dash image, our image name, and then hit enter. Okay, so once you hit enter, so it is saying something, clean architecture. Okay, my yeah, clean architecture is not a right name, so that's why. So let me change it to correct name. I think it's typo mistake. So cleanarch demo image. Okay, now hit enter again. Now see, now it's running. Let me try to check. Okay, so open the blog, like localhost 3000, because I running my other application is 3000. Or make sure like our image or container is running. So this is our image. See, image is ready. And also this image, when you click, so you will see. Okay, don't try to click. So click the container. So container, see, whatever I give the name, my first demo container, inside our image, whatever image, this is that our image name. And what is the hosting port? So this is our listening port. So click here. Once you click, so definitely you will get that localhost 3000, but our controller name is API and then block. So when you click, so definitely if it is running, there is a no issue, so it will get that response. But no response, that means some issue. So let me check what is the issue. See, also I'm getting the issue. So what is that issue? Let me check. See, this is the issue because no such table. Yes, that is expected actually. That is I not fix, because definitely you will, once you will try, so you will get this error and you will confuse, okay, why it's coming. Okay, so let me fix this issue. And why this issue, let me close the terminal first, control C. Okay, and that clear uh, console, and open our Visual Studio. Okay, yeah, so see, problem is like we using we using, if you go to our domain infrastructure layer, so data layer, actually we using an entity framework. And this entity framework actually creating required a migration once you start your application. Because if you go to here, see, we using a SQLite. So this SQLite, actually whatever model, first we have to migrate and push to that schema in our um, database. So that is missing. So what we can do, how we can fix it? So inside the starting our application, we have to write a migration stuff. So how we can do that? Let me uh, yeah, let me get this code. This is a very small and straightforward code. See, what we can do, we using a statement and create a scope. Under the scope, what we can do, our context, DB context, we can get our service really. So this is our service, and finally what we have to do, let me zoom in. We have to forcefully tell, okay, the DB we have to do in starting migrate. So whatever in DB, so let's start to migrate. Okay, so once it's done, let's save it. Okay, then again we have to create that image. So what I will do, for safe side, I will remove again that our docker file. Okay, for safe side, and then again I will raise create a new same docker file. Okay, it is creating our same process. Control X, go to the root folder and paste it over here. Okay, and open the terminal and create an image again. This is image command, so docker build create. Okay, already image is created, so you can create a new image with new name, but I would like to suggest that image I will remove, because that is not a right image, so I remove it over here. Also check there is no container. Okay, now that it to run, so it's again it will create an image, so it will take again few second or few minute, not a few minutes, only within one. Okay, so image is created. Okay, finally again run command, docker run it rm, and then port and whatever our image name. Okay, and then my container. Okay, then hit. Now see, this time I get some log as well. So it is saying migration is doing, and then create a table. See the created table, and then update it to our DB. Okay, and finally this is listening started. Okay, so let me check here. See, image again it's created, and then container. Okay, this container created along with this image, and let's run this application and change it to API block. So if you confuse why I'm writing this API block, so let me open my project. Okay, so yeah, my project, and see my endpoint name is, see API and then controller. So whatever I specify prefix is API, and then controller name is block, and which one is getting the response, it is get call. So yeah, now now see, I'm getting the result but empty, because that's expected. Actually there is no data. So what I can do, also, you will see the log, whatever request you will send your container, so you will get the log as well. So let me post some data by using postman. Okay, so okay, there is a one endpoint. Okay, the post endpoint. Okay, so API blocks and then post and then our stuff. So once you hit the hit, okay, so this is created again. Just hit again. Two also created. 3 also created. Let me check the terminal. So I think whatever I send a command, see everything is created, like insert command. See, this is insert command, this is insert command, this is insert command. Okay, that means our our container is working fine. And let me check the data once again in browser first. See, whatever I inserted, I getting the data. Okay, so this is very nice and very easy. Okay, so okay, one more things I forget to actually, that I created, run our image via the terminal, but there is another way, like directly I can create a container and running our application inside a container using the docker desktop app. How we can do that? Okay, so what you can do is just click here on the image play button, and then it is showing that this pop-up, run a new container and option settings, expand the option settings and put some other port which is available in your machine, and then set that variable name. Okay, so this is important actually, the settings, because if you see your application is running on the production. Okay, so if you see, let me zoom in. So by default it is taking production environment. Okay, so this is one issue. If you trying to use ASP.NET Core, okay, So if you go to your application and go to your launch just setting file, so see, it is by default taking ASP.NET Core. Okay, ASP.NET Core. So if you trying to use ASP.NET Core, and when you try to build your application inside the container, so definitely by default it will take production. So how we can fix it to run our application in for development or any environment? So that is why this settings. So what we can do, just copy this setting, okay, this one, and just need to change SP not core to uh, dot .NET Core. Okay, so let me open again. This just changes to .NET Core. .NET Core. Okay, .NET Core environment, and specify the environment, which environment you want. So I want to run development environment, so that can one put it the value is a development or whatever in the environment you want. Just you can put, and you can just there's a multi option as well. So just set it to this, and then set is the variable, so that your development environment can run inside the container. Also other things is yeah, you can specify your container name. So what is my container name? So container name is, I can would like to suggest container via docker app. Okay, and run. So once it run, okay, see, the inside the container, whatever container I specify, it is listening on this port, as well as they giving some log as well. So it's logs looks like good, like our migration done, as well as your application running. Okay, so how we can test it? So directly run your application on browser and just check it. And also, yeah, their API actually we have built in using Swagger. So you can just using Swagger URL, like Swagger is by default user is swagger slash index.html. So when you click the hit enter, so see, the your all the endpoint is there. Okay, so you don't require any third party postman or everything key that you can insert, update, delete performance. So this is one. Also you can check your get endpoint. So what is was api.blog. So see, there is a no data. So let me try to insert some data. Okay, so how we can do it? Just let back. Okay, I'll just insert some data, try out, execute, execute. So I execute four times, so four data is there. Also you can make sure here as well, data is there or not. Yes, data is there. Also you can check here, see, all the insert command you will appearing over here, as well as your get command. Okay, so all the information you can check over here. There's a two container, one I created for terminal and one I created direct for docker app. Okay, but is same image. Okay, it's one image but creating multiple container. Okay, so that is sufficient for this video. Yeah, make sure yeah, make sure your whatever application configuration. So if you choosing the development, so make sure all the stuff should be over there. Okay, means all the configuration should maintain over there. So that is sufficient for this docker. So next video, next session will come actually. uh, this time will create by default giving us that docker file, but next time we don't record that uh, okay, so next video will come with the, we don't record the docker file itself also. So I'll come with the future video. So thank you, have a nice day. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, share. Hello everyone, welcome back again to my channel, and this session will learn how we can debug application inside docker container. Okay, so I also create another session. Okay, so which is how we can run our application inside the docker container. So I'm especially recommend, before proceed this one, so check out this one actually. Okay, so this one I created actually for how we can run our application inside the Docker without writing any Docker metadata or Docker code. Okay, so it is very easy, very simple. Okay, so let's move in this session, like how we can debug. Okay, also I take a sample of that clean architecture, so you also don't aware that how we can create a clean architecture as clean architecture. So definitely I especially recommend to you, again you go to my channel and check out those series. Okay, so let's get started. So right click on that add option, right click on the project, um, project project our web API project, and add a new option. So see, this is Docker support. So once you add, see, and it show me no, the target framework. So you just put a target framework, okay, whatever you want, like Linux or Windows. So I choose an Linux. Okay, okay, before proceed, one more thing. So see, this is my Docker app, Docker desktop app. So here is nothing, there is nothing container, also no image. So why I'm showing you, because once I just add this support, okay, so automatically create a image and also set up a container, okay, and running that application. So let's add and see, it is automatically create a file for us. Okay, and also see, in this Docker container tool, it is automatically start, okay, and pulling image and see writing a things and then generate a generate a image, and also running that image inside the container. So see, everything is done successfully. If you go to my desktop app, Docker desktop app, see, image is created. Okay, and go to container, see, container also is running that image, that particular image with the dev environment. Okay, also if you see the port, okay, these two ports are listening over there. Okay, so what need to do next? Okay, also if you don't able to see this container tool, so you can go to here, views, and go to other windows and see, this is containers. Okay, so once you click, you able to see this one, and what happened, you can check it over here. Okay, so let's next add. Okay, so now see, after set up everything, you able to see this option as well, like Docker. In previously it was not there, it was only https is. Okay, and now you able to see also. Now check in this launcher setting, that setting also edit, like see, this setting edit automatically. Okay, like see, launch URL would be a schema, service host, port, and then Swagger. Okay, and now let's run the application in a Docker. So it will take few minutes. Okay, now see, this is container, this is your Docker container. Okay, Docker container solution, and also see the running our application, and you will see that 7 9, yeah, see, whatever listening port, whatever they actually create inside that container. Okay, container listening, our running our application. So see, 32769 or 33768. So based on the listening point, our application is running. Okay, so go to here, see, our port is running. Also our first the default UI of Swagger, that is appearing. Okay, and also we can check the log. uh, we can check the log over here, actually inside the container. See, it is logging, and also it is migrated done, and then our listening our pod. Okay, and this one also you able to see here as well, this Visual Studio, like what happening actually. See, this is running and then listening, and also you have to see there's a many option, like which environment is running. It's running on development environment, what is the level, what is the port it's running, volumes, files, what are the files, and where is actually storing, it is storing app. And inside app, see, there's our binary of the project. Okay, and these logs, and this is the details. Okay, and now we have to debug. So how we can debug? Let's put the any debugger point in our application in a controller. So let's add over here. Okay, and let's run our swagger, hit the swagger. Okay, so you can hit the swagger as well, or also you don't have a swagger, then I think you can just use postman, or because see, this is a listening endpoint, so you can hit any other tools. Okay, and just try out, execute. Definitely. Okay, see, debugger point reaching there. Okay, and now F10, F10, and see, as of now it is a 2 record over there. Okay, so this is 1 and this is 2. Okay, and then run, continue, you will see this 2 record. Okay, also you can debug everything, like now see, it is a running your inside our container, but you can running your locally, means you can debug it locally. So that is a great advantage give us to Visual Studio. Okay, so this is all. Okay, and do you have any other question, any query? So you can just feel free, no, mention in our description or in a comment section. Okay, and next session will come. Okay, now see, we have learned, like, okay, first we have run this docker file without writing any code, and then this second lesson will learn, okay, how we can debug inside the container. Now third one will come, and will actually will learn next session how we can create image and container without writing this docker file. So that is our next a great feature which is provide us Visual Studio. So keep tuning. Thank you everyone, and please don't forget to subscribe, like, share. Have a nice day. Hello everyone, welcome back again to my channel. So this is another session of the Docker container series. So in previous series session we learned actually how we can generate a Docker file without writing any code, and now second session we learn how we can debug our Docker, our app inside the Docker. So this is another session of Docker containers. This is a brand new features came in .NET 7. Actually you don't record any Docker file. Okay, so yes, you absolutely right. So this is a brand new features. We don't need Docker file no more. Okay, so how we can achieve those things, so that we'll learn and we'll see. Before proceed this session, I'm especially recommend go to my channel which I'll share you. Okay, and no, doing and watch, like, all the series of that, clean architecture and Docker. So that will be help, so that you can understand, okay, why I am taking this, this architecture, and then how we can consume web API. So everything I mention in this comment section, so you can, before proceeding this, so please go through that videos. Okay, so okay, let's get started. So what need to do first, actually we have to record one package. Okay, so what is that package? Right click on that and go to NuGet packages, and just find that package's name over here, Microsoft .NET build container. Okay, this is that package. Okay, so it is actually starting from .NET 7, and previously it was not there. So yeah, just install of that version and confirm. Okay, once completed, okay, then here we go. Like, now our app is ready, our application or our project structure is ready for create a image without Docker file. So how we can do that? Just open a command line. Okay, you can directly open command line over here as well, any terminal. Okay, another way, like, you can just open command prompt and just specify whatever your this project file path. Okay, that is another way. Okay, so I'll doing over here. So what need to do, I need to actually create, I need to publish actually. So Once I publish, so that time it will generate our images. Okay, so before that, first what you have to do, you have to just open your running your uh, docker desktop docker desktop app in your machine, so that they will actually find that in environment, and then he will create images. Okay, if you're not running, definitely you will get that error. Okay, and see, I'll already open over here and see there is no any images. Okay, so once I hit that command, so that image will came appearing over here. Okay, that will verify as well. So let's me run that command. Okay, this is that command. Okay, I'll explain as well, no issue. Just that's that one. Okay, so see, this is that command. What we are doing over here, actually we are doing just .NET, our CLI command. Okay, so if you install SDK, so definitely you will get this, that will over here .NET, and then use the publish command and then specify OS. So what is OS referring? Actually it is referring our framework. What is your OS framework? Okay, so I'm just targeting our Linux. Okay, and then second one is ARCH. Okay, so what is referring? Actually it is referring actually what is your bit or your system. So I'm specify in a 64 bit. Okay, and then publish. Okay, and then specify publish profile default container. Okay, so this is actually important. So you have to understand, okay, where I need to use this one and where I need to another one. Okay, so there is another command, then we can specify /t publish container. Okay, then publish container, where we will use that things only for when it non-bab. Okay, such kind of console and worker. And but if you have a bab, if do you have an bab, like bab API and those so and so that time you have to use that publish profile. Okay, and then finally C4, specify whatever type of that release or debug. So that's done, and then just hit enter. Now see, it is trying to generating your images. So see, finally let me zoom in. Okay, see, your push container is this is local domain, and it is creating your image name like clean architecture dash API, whatever your solution name. I mean, not a solution name, it's a project name. And by default it is giving actually the default version, whatever your project version, so that specify this. Okay, so my project version is actually by default is taking 1.00. so these are all of we will learn, like how we can change the image name, how we can change that version name. So that also will see in this session. Okay, so now see, it is creating image. So let's open Docker app. See, this is created. Okay, and now you can run your application. So how we can do that? There is another command of Docker. We can run our container, and our in the container run, and then we can see our application as well. So there is another command. So that command name is docker run. Okay, so let me put that command. Okay, so this is that command, docker run it ram, and then specify the port, and then what is your container name. So I'm just putting my container name is without docker file container. Okay, container, and then specify your image name. And what is the image name? This is our image name. Okay, so just copy this one, paste it over here. Okay, just remove that single quote. Okay, that's it, and specify the version as well, or it is not mandatory actually. So let me hit enter. See, your application is running. Okay, and let me check here, the container, whatever we create a container name. See, the container name is there, and your application is running in this port, whatever we specify. So just run, and let me Let me get it. Okay, so see, this is run, and let me check. See, there is nothing because we have not data over here. So but application is running. We can check over here as well. Once I hit, so see, this select query is fired. Okay, and if I want to post some data, so definitely I need to open that postman. Okay, and also one more thing, like see, it is running a production, so that also can change it like development via this new brand new feature. So that will learn also, no issue. We'll see in the next few seconds. See, this is our endpoint. Okay, and this is post, and let me post some data edit. Now add me one more, two, three. Okay, and let me hit one more time. See, data is there, right? Means our container is running and our app also is running inside the container. Okay, and also you can see inside the container log file. See, this log file also showing everything, whatever data and whatever logging in this container. Okay, so that is fine. And now what need to do next? Okay, we'll actually see our image name. Okay, there is a many property actually Visual Studio give us to change flexibility, actually give us to your create our image name, create our tag, registry, everything. Okay, so every command or everything I mention in this, I will mention in my video description. Don't worry about that. So see, first what will we do, we'll change the name of it. Okay, so what we want a different name of image. Okay, so what is how we can do that? So that we can do, let me open your project file, double click on that project file, and see here you have to specify whatever things you want. Okay, so based on this, so first what we want, first we want to change our container name. Okay, so let me copy that command. See, so container image name, when you specify the container image name and specify any name. Okay, so what is the name? Like suppose for example, uh this is new image. Okay, and let's save, let run again that command. Okay, and okay, let me open another command. Okay, let clear it. Okay, and just copy that command, publish command, so that I can again generate another image. Okay, with this name. Okay, so I'm specify this name, so that image will generate of this name. So just hit enter. See, the push container is this. Okay, and let me zoom in. So this is whatever we want, so I'll can change it. Okay, same, we want to change that tag name as well. So how we can do that? Let me put that one as well, like container tag. Can specify that container tag. So this is that container tag. Okay, how we can change whatever, you can put that version name. So I specify 123, then alpha 2. Okay, and then run again. Okay, and once more time. Okay, I think I didn't. Okay, sorry. See, this I'm not save actually. So just save it. Make sure it's save, and then it run. Okay, then try to publish. Because if it is not saved, so that will not changes will not reflect in our binary. Okay, so that is important. So once it's changed, okay, see now check, now generated with our this and this, and we want to make sure as well, like just clear that command and check docker Docker images, so definitely all images will show you. Okay, so see, I changed this one, so based on this it is generating, and also with name the tag name. Okay, and what else we can change it? We can change actually many things. So also we can change its work directory as well. So that is, this is that command. Okay, if I want to change the work directory like slash bin, or I want to change something else, so I can change it over here. Okay, so let me comment this one. Also yeah, see, there's another thing, so we can change no container port. Okay, so where we can change it, so that we can change like this way. Okay, like inside, not inside the property group. If I want to change the port and type of TCP, so we have to create an item group, and inside the item group we can just contain the port. Okay, so that I'm actually explaining, I'm not going to run everything, so that is documented. Okay, and so one more important things that I will show you. Okay, so that container variable name, so you can specify the container environment variable, so which variable you want to set, like whatever variable, so whatever .NET give us the variable, so you can just give it that variable name and set the value, so that whatever variable you want to there, so that will be available. For example, I want to change like see, our application run, okay, in the production environment. Okay, see, let me zoom in again one more time. So our production, our hosting environment is just production. Okay, so that I want to change, because by default ASP.NET Core, the web hosting is, it is taking the production, once I release the build. Okay, so that I want to change. What is that, how we can do that? Simply go to launch the setting. See, by default it is taking ASP.NET Core. So if I want to change that production to development, so what we can do, just copy this guy. Okay, paste it over here and change it to ASP.NET to .NET Core only. Okay, so it .NET .NET only. Okay, .NET environment, and whatever the environment we want to run inside the container, so this is okay. So this is fine, this is sufficient. Let's save it, run it, and okay, now, okay, now give it to the valid name, valid image, or valid property, like it is a 3.0 point, no, 3.3.3. Okay, that is fine for the example. Okay, and our app name is like web, sorry, web API, web API. Okay, web API image. That's cool. And then Control C, stop that running our container, and CLS, and then hit that publish command again one more time, and now it should be create the image name is web API images and specify the version. Okay, make sure Docker images, so that is created or not. See, this is created. Okay, now run our application, run again. So what is that command? Okay, this is that command. What need to do? Just remove the old images name. Okay, also the, I want to create a new container. So what is the new container is web API container, and then what I can do, the specify the image name. So what is my image name? Web API image, and we can specify. Okay, let me check without passing the version. I think it should be take us latest, so latest. If I using this one, so it should take. Okay, so let me zoom in this command so that you can see. Okay, so this is our command actually. So okay, now hit enter. Okay, so see, it is saying unable to find that image. So Definitely, I think might be required that is specify the version. Okay, so let me specify the version. Okay, let me check without the version. Okay, that also not find. Okay, so that is fine. That means it's required actually version. So let me specify the version with the colon 3.3.3. Okay, and then hit enter. Okay, now see it is running, and also you will see the environment. Okay, see this is the environment, so development. Okay, so let me check that port. I'll run it is 303. So let me open again and show the container. Okay, go to here, go to container. See web API container, it's 303. Let me open and go to here, and this time I think I open the dev. So definitely I can just open a Swagger. Okay, so let me open a Swagger. See, our application is running, and also we are able to see the Swagger because our application, this application is if you go to program.cs file, so Swagger only available in development environment. So that's why in previously not able to see, but this time we are able to see. Okay, then hit to try to run. See, there is a no data. Then try to push some data. So try to same data like just 2-3 times, and definitely you will see the data. See, that is done. I think so. I think that is a great few features came in this .NET 7. So everyone should use and should to learn. Like the Docker file has gone. Okay, no need to Docker file. Okay. Also, there another property I'll explain you. Like there's a one more, two, three property more where we can use, so that okay, so there's another one is like we can specify the base image as well, like what is the our base image. So see, this one is by default it's .NET 7, but if do you have specify some runtime or thing, so you can use this property. Okay, then again one more things, like if you want to okay, if you want to register your container, so there is a one more command, one more property actually. See, container registry specify the your registry place and then port, and you can register directly over here. You don't require to create image and this, so directly will register registry your image to there, and then you can deploy your application. So that's it. So uh, this Docker container series, that is sufficient. So will come next stuff, that great feature will come in whatever .NET is releasing. So till now, thank you, have a nice day, and please don't forget to subscribe, like and share.